chef school. I went to chef school, took a leap of faith, moved to New York. From there, it was up from there.
Okay. So that's good to hear. So, so your mother kind of gave you that, she planted that seed into you. And then, in addition to that, like with her, planting that seed, she taught you things about self-discipline, gave you that, motivation to be self-sufficient. So you took on with that journey and ended up thriving through it. And then, I didn't even know, like you went to school for that too.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's not like, because it's not just having the passion from it, from getting the motivation from mom and so forth, but you actually got your training as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
yes,
I'm feeling that.
Yeah.
All right, so because myself, I self-proclaim myself as a chef. I say pastry artist and chef, but I'm like, y'all, I ain't go to school for it now.
No, I had to.
All right, okay. Yes. All right. So now, one thing I've always admired about like culinary arts is how creative it is. So I personally enjoyed, like I said, like pastry arts and creating edible, designs where I do like the 3D cakes and stuff like that. I try my hand at it, but I personally enjoy those things. Being able to see how fascinating it is, how chefs can like take simple ingredients and be able to transform them into something beautiful.
Yes.
So when you were creating a dish, do you see it more as a science, an art form, or a combination of both?
So I see mine as, I grew up in a Pentecostal church, non-denomination.
Yeah.
So my mama used to have that anointed oil.
Oh, yeah.
And with that anointed oil, like I take my oil to my mama, hey mom, pray over this oil, or when they have a revival.
Yeah.
So I always pray over my food. So my thing when I cook, I put the energy, good energy, and I just pray. So whoever eats my food, I blessings on them, heal their body inside and whatnot. So that's what I be doing when I do my creations.
So it's kind of like a almost like a sacred thing for you. It's very meaningful. Yes. So and that's good that you state that, because like I have like in my past I've heard like some of my like ancestors and stuff, they would say things like that. They're like, hey, don't cook my food if you angry. I don't want you to open none of my food if you upset, right? So none of us want that, right?
No.
So that's good that you take that into a serious note and really utilize that method, and it's very meaningful to you. So that's even better. To know that someone takes their, this is not just being a job, or not just being something that you have a passion for, but you actually take it to a spiritual note too.
Yes.
All right. So next, I want to get into basically when you're stating something like that, it goes into like feeding the soul.
Yes.
So people often, they think that chefs are simply like feeding people physically, but I believe that food can nourish people emotionally as well.
Yes.
So have there been like any moments in your career where you realized what you were providing was bigger than a meal itself? Like, do you believe that food can be healing?
Yeah. I can. So for one instant, I was my first celebrity I ever cooked for was Donald Trump. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So when I did it was in New York. I was going to school, and I said, God, he told me to take a leave to go to New York. And I went to school called Institute of Culinary Arts Education. When I went there, my grades weren't that good because I got what it called as a TBI, traumatic brain injury, because I got blown up when I was in Iraq. So it's hard for me to take tests or whatnot. So my grades was kind of up and down because I get like stage fright or whatnot. Yeah. So the kids in the classroom, they was making straight A's. And I was like, man, saying, God, you said this was for me. So I know I ain't about to fail out of school. So the dean, he seen how creative I was, how good a cook. He put me against the top kid in my class and said, I got an event for you to do. It's a paid event. Do you want to do it? But we got to see your background. So I was like, oh man, I caught this case way back or something like that.
Like, I hope
I ain't gonna get it, you know what I'm saying? So then it went through. So we went through the house, and it was this big old mansion downtown, and it was, they couldn't tell us who it was because we told them, then it got out to the news. So the next day when we went there, Secret Service everywhere, dogs, flag. And I'm like, man, who we cooking for? They had a chef from France and Italian that we was cooking for. And it was me, and all the Secret Service, they was all African-American. They're like, oh man, I see you, chef. When I went in there, the guy, I outdid him real good. And then they wanted me to cook Donald Trump's food. So it was a well done steak with ketchup. So I knocked it out of the park. And when I did, the whole time I was praying, God, please let this be the best. So when he came back and greeted me and said, yo, that was the best steak I had in my life. He probably won't remember me now, but best steak of my life, you know what I'm saying? That's when I knew, you know what I'm saying, when I prayed with my food, you know what I'm saying, it'll change things. So that's when my journey really took a big leap, and then that's what I kept going.
That is beautiful. Like that is like that's something else. Like your first celebrity being the president. Well, now president. So that's
go higher than that. That's why I said, even though
you got a calling on your life.
Yes, ma'am.
You definitely do. Yes. Definitely. Now, you know, just going into how you were saying with celebrity chef, being a celebrity chef in your journey. So starting out, that was your first client, your first celebrity. So how did those opportunities begin to, well, basically you did state that that was your first opportunity, that's how it began itself, being in school and being able to go head to head with one of the top students. So being able to go into that and have that type of opportunity and beat the odds too, like with the certain crucible and things like that with learning. So what were some lessons that you learned while navigating, you know, that level of success?
Man, I would say it was, I will always keep myself humble. That's a level.
Yeah.
So no matter who I cook for, never think you better than nobody else.
Yeah.
So I always and that's why I always, when where I live downtown, I got young boys, 18-year-old that come, they live in like the big sky rise and whatnot, but they don't got their family. So every time I see them, did you eat today? So by me giving back to them, it humbles me to make me feel like I ain't better than nobody else.
Yeah.
So a lot of chefs out here, they be like, you know what I'm saying, they got a big head and this is this. Sometimes you got to get leveled down, you know what I'm saying, and keep you on a
kind of
level.
Humble you a little bit,
where you, what's the name? Because you're not better than nobody else. God can take anything for you like that.
He can.
Yeah.
He can. Oof, boy, can I tell you.
Yeah.
But that is good that you're able to use those type of lessons, like you know, to motivate you throughout this journey, and to be able to give back to someone else and use that as a method to keep you leveled throughout it all, stay balanced. That's really good, and I would definitely say that goes into not just being a chef, but for everyone. I think that's a good thing to state, to be able to keep that type of balance. Doing those type of things.
Ma'am.
All right. So now I want to talk about like fatherhood and leadership. Okay. So speaking of something like that, being able to, you know, do that with a gentleman at the area that you help with, there comes with leadership. And then, of course, I saw that you are a father as well. So Father's Day just passed and everything. And we want to discuss that fatherhood. So how has being a father changed your perspective on success?
Oh, man. So everything I do is for my kids. So it's basically like leaving a legacy. So it was a gift that my son, he's here for Father's Day. So he lived with his mom in Colorado. So he came here, and it's like, since he been here, God been blessing him with a lot of clients. So he got to see the athletes, like the NFL players, the NBA players that I've been cooking for. Okay. So it give him inspiration, like, yo, my daddy's doing it. So that's why I wrote my book, and that's why everything I do is for them, because I could have, ain't gonna lie, crashed out a long time ago. Yeah. But what that would have done for my kids, I don't want nobody else raising my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. It's like having your kids there kind of gives you that momentum, and it, you know, it ties in with your success too. So being able to have your son there and being inspired by the things that he's seeing, that's really good. It does help change your perspective on your success. So now you were mentioning about your book. So I do want to definitely talk about that. So this is the book that you brought, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you show us that title of the book there? So that is Pain Trapped So Deep. So I want to definitely go over that, discussing your book, Pain Trapped So Deep, a guide to breaking hidden pain, rebuilding discipline, and leading with strength. So what inspired you to write this book?
So like I said, when I got out the military, I was going through deep depression, where like throughout the military, I wanted to take my life a couple of times. Yeah. And it all starts, you know what I'm saying? It was the military, but sometimes it's childhood. So it made me write this book for a lot of men and I started seeing all the NFL players and NBA players that be taking their life because of stress that they can't deal with. So a lot of this stress has to deal with the hidden pain. A lot of people got all the pain from their family members that they trying to take on all the what's name. So they get out the hood, so they got to take care of their mom.
Right.
And then when they make it big, and then they get hurt, and they can't do it no more. Now they can't what's name. So
kind of feel a little bit of
a little bit of what's name. So I always remember like growing up, and I was crying. My mama like, man up, stop crying, go back, what's name, or go fight that dude. So now I look at my son now. Yeah, it's okay to cry, but come to me if you what's saying, you can talk to me about anything. But before, you know what I'm saying, the parents, you know, back in the day, parents like, I'm right, you wrong. You can't say nothing.
It's like no matter what I say,
so
mom
men
or dad's always right.
Hold that thing in them, and they can't express themselves. That's why it's always good to have men groups, somebody you can talk to. Because some dudes can't. You going through, you can't go to your woman like, hey man, Tommy at work, then he cuts me out. I feel sad. So like,
because then she'll probably have an expectation or something, right?
You gonna throw it back up like, man, Tommy got to say that to you. How you gonna talk to me that way? So
I'm guilty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I done had that moment. I'm guilty. Like, wait a minute, but you told me the other week that so and so. So I can understand that and definitely empathize on that. Yeah. So that's good. So you created this book to kind of be the voice of those men and kind of bringing on those things that you experienced too, to let them know, hey, you're not the only one. I went through this too. All right. So now we're going to briefly go over, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. So I like that you touched on that this, you wanted to focus on men's mental health is the reason why you created the book or started the book. So one reason I was excited to have you on, for this month is because of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. It's something that I really do care deeply about, especially like myself, I have 4 sons, so it means a lot to me. And like what you were saying, like how your mom was, how you said you were going through things, or how you just remember people growing up. Basically, it was always like, hey, you gotta suppress those feelings and emotions. And see, for me, I wanted to be a little bit different, So, and I want to be able to get that out into the world, to see that there's somebody out there that really does care. So from your perspective, what are some of the challenges men face when it comes to discussing emotional wellness openly? Like, what are some of those signs that someone may be struggling beneath the surface, even when they appear that they're strong? So
a lot of men, like, I'm gonna go talk with me and not about other men. So mine it's a lot. It was financial, going through in my marriage, some men sexual, different things like that. So when they depressed and they can't come up to performance, and that's why I try to do it for all different men. So you got the guy on the streets, the hood guy, when his homeboys get shot. So he still got to be on the streets. He can't be crying and what's not. He still got to be that man, you know what I'm saying, to provide for his family. The military man, when I was overseas, one of our soldiers, we got killed. We do the taps or whatnot, and we cry. We wasn't get over, but we still got to go on mission. The guy on Wall Street, the white guy that's on Wall Street, he might lose millions of dollars, but his wife at home, and he said, hey, we can't afford this house no more, but he got to go face that reality. Right. You got to face the reality. But they used to all this money. Even the Spanish guy that's come over the borderline, that he trying to make a living for his family, but he get deported with his family here. It's all those things that men deal with that on a daily basis, you know what I'm saying, that they got to face in the hard things, like you said, family, Father's Day. They still got to face the facts and be that man in the household. So it's hard to get it out, and that's why it made me write this book, because the thing I was going through, I got locked up about a couple years ago, and I got put in a suicide cell. When I was in there, they put the little jacket on me, and when I was asleep, I had a cross over me, and God was like, look to your left, look to your right. All y'all different ethnicities, you know what I'm saying, different colors, but y'all all deal